Zion Williamson is one of the most polarizing players in the NBA, but at the same time, one of the most scrutinized players in the NBA. And at a certain point, it's going to come to a boiling point. So we're going to break down this Zion paradox right now in the Pelicans Scoop. Cue my music.
This is the Pelicans Scoop with Jordan Kitchens, breaking down everything under the sun about your New Orleans Pelicans. Smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay on top of your Pels content. Now, running point, here's Jordan.
What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of the Pelicans Scoop. You guys are, you're seeing the studio. I told you guys, just stick with me. They're working on the studio. We're going to finally get it together and y'all see this beautiful product. So shout out to Guaranteed Media. Shout out to Bo Wegman for, getting his hands dirty and getting this bad boy ready to go. I appreciate you. Matter of business. Like I said, y'all like, comment, subscribe. We're going to have a real discourse today, ladies and gentlemen, because the figure of today's video is Zion Williamson. All right. No matter where do you stand with him, you can't honestly say the talent is undeniable. Whether you're on the side of it, he's fat or whatever, you're one of those guys, you're one of the guys that, he needs to be shooting more jumpers. Regardless of the fact, when he's healthy, when he's locked into the game of basketball, he was blessed. He's easily, when he's healthy, easily a top 12 player in the NBA. No doubts in my mind, and the play speaks for itself. But the problem that we're starting to encounter, I would say, more with Zion necessarily right now is the Pelicans are in a very, very dark place. So just stick with me real quick. Dark place. Brandon Ingram's gone now. Kiss that baby goodbye. It's over and done. But the problem that you always encounter, one, Brandon Ingram was not reliable too. Let's get that straight. It's not like he still hasn't played a game for the Toronto Raptors. So you had a guy that was not reliable, missing games. And you have Zion Williamson, this transcendent talent that also is not reliable in missing games. I always give David Griffin a lot of grief because, the roster construction and, missing draft picks and bad trades and all this. But at the same time, it's going to be very difficult to build a team when your main piece, the main guy that you're selling tickets for the fans and you're promoting, you're selling jerseys, you're doing this, doesn't play. Not even about just missing it, but just, being hurt, things that are out of your control sometimes. A lot of the times they were in control for Zion, being out of shape and, missing workouts, skipping team plays. You got to get suspended, right? They finally had to suspend him this season to say enough is enough. Wake him up. So when you put it on the basis of that, it's going to be hard to build a team, build around a specific playing style. Okay, Zion is not a shooter. Zion is a unbelievable dominant paint presence. Crazy touch. One of the best touches, pause if needed, one of the best touches in the league. You can just do one of those bad boys, hit the mic, do one of those bad boys and it just kiss the glass. So one of the softest touches in the league. So you need to surround him with shooters, competent point guard play, and you try to do that, but then it all just falls apart. Zion played, the first 3-4 games of the year and talking about the hamstring was tightened up, and then you don't see him again. So then the point guard you brought in for Zion, DeJounte Murray, just getting a lot of run without him. Well, without Zion at one point, Trey Murphy at one point, Brandon Ingram for the majority of the season, CJ missed some time, Herb Jones. So the point guard you bring in to kind of unlock Zion and take the pressure off him and take the ball out of his hands, he ends up going down with a torn Achilles. Okay, you still haven't really put an adequate big man next to him. Kelly Olynyk is a small sample size, but it's kind of easy to see that Kelly Olynyk might be the best big man that's played with Zion. Not talent wise, not because Jonas Valanciunas obviously was the best talented big that he's played with up until this point in his NBA career, but the most that fits with him, that fits with his playing style, that really can unlock Zion, really space the floor. That's the problem the Pelicans are in right now. That's why I said it's dark right now. A lot of the guys you paid money are hurt. They're not playing. Zion was hurt for the majority of the season, so you're trying to finally get him going and finally see what you have with him, moving forward. It's finally his team. Is it Brandon's team? Is it Zion's team? Or we got to try and, are we building around BI? Are we trying to build around Zion? Like, their play styles don't mesh. Zion and Trey do mesh, but their play styles don't mesh. So you finally cut that charade out, trying to force a rectangle into a circle hole, one of them little kid games. You finally stopped that. But now you're at a point where the season is lost. You're kind of not trying to win because you don't want to ruin your draft position, because you need, whatever you draft, you need a guy that can immediately come in and play. Like I said, Cooper Flag is obviously the consensus number one. No, I'm not going to sit there and say that. But I really do believe that Dylan Harper is what this team needs. You're in a position where you're looking at DeJounte Murray that's not going to be back no time soon. All right, we're looking at maybe February 2026. That's if everything goes well. There's no setbacks and all this. All right, a torn Achilles is not something you can just whoop. All right, I'm good to go, man. Put a little ice on that bad boy. We're ready to roll. So that is a problem. So you're back at square one that you were last offseason, kind of in a worse position than you were last offseason, where you're down a point guard. The guy you did bring in, he's gone. Well, he ain't gone, but he's gone for the foreseeable future at the moment. And you don't still have an adequate big man next to Zion. This Eve, Misi, and Zion, like Eve will, it's looking real grim for Eve right now. It's not about Eve. This is about Zion. But the main point, what I'm getting to, is that if he doesn't play, it has been hard to build his roster around him. Now, this team has been very subpar. The talent has been very subpar. But if your guy doesn't play, what can you do? So that's why I wholeheartedly believe that this offseason coming up is the biggest of Zion's career and the front office, even though they should have been gone. Hopefully you should be bringing in a brand new head coach, right? You kind of need to rebuild this roster around Zion and Trey, but at the same time, the clock is starting to tick on Zion. I'm more saying that at what point does he want out? All right, let's just cut the BS. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Okay. Now, this is not all the Pelicans' fault in this situation. Zion has a lot to do with the state of the franchise and the state of the team. If he was just, showing up to practice, not missing flights, not breaking your foot off the court and, having all these setbacks, and where CJ McCollum gets traded to the team, where's Zion? Where does Zion? He can't get in touch with you. Things like that, just showing up out of shape. Clearly out of shape. Like, now that we see what you look like in shape, so you was clearly out of shape, and all this, these rumors were true. These rumors about you had to be true, because the way you look now, your body, and how you looked that year that the Pelicans were the number one seed in December, that 22 season before he basically shredded his hamstring against the Sixers, if you guys remember that way back then, and just tanked the whole season for the Pelicans and ended up losing to OKC in the play-in. But other than that, and the start of the 2023 year, it's kind of like we're in a repeated cycle with you. Like, we're still in a point where when the all season comes, nobody knows what Zion's going to do, because you had that lead up into this year where everybody's like, oh, Zion's finally he played 70 games. He's finally going to take care of his body. He's going to do this and that this all season. And he showed up clearly not in great prestigious condition, right? Then you had the tattoo video drop where you got the back tat and he had the belly eating the food, and it's just like all these bad optics. The Mariah Mills with the porn star, these just bad optics that surround you, that just bring negativity towards you. It's all not the Pelicans' fault. Zion does have a lot to do with this. So when is enough? Because you already see it now when he had 37 against the Lakers the other day. Go look at any type of post. I get it. It's social media. People are negative regardless. But go look at any type of post. What they're saying. Oh, get him out of New Orleans. Finally, let's see what he can do. And it's like, y'all trying to force this man out of here. But it's not always the franchise fault for his shortcomings. It's 50-50 if we're being honest. 50-50 for David Griffin being an incompetent fool and Zion being, call it what it was, just a slob. You're one of the best players. You could literally be one of the greatest players of all time. And I think he's starting to find it click, hopefully. But it's like, it's the same talking points. You can go back to anybody that does Pelicans content, anybody. I just started doing it, but anybody. Every offseason the same. It's going to be the same thing. Can Zion come in healthy? How Zion going to be in shape? Is Zion this and that? The fact that still is a cloud above his name. The fact that, because, people are not watching the Pelican games, that people still think he's fat and out of shape. The fact that there's still narratives around your name, that is always not the franchise fault. So that's where I'm sitting at. When would be enough? When either the franchise gets tired, or Zion gets tired, or Trey gets tired, because nobody wants to lose. The money cool, but nobody wants to just be, losers. Nobody wants to be perpetual losers. These guys are professional athletes. They want to win. Yeah, they want to get paid. They want to take care of their family. They want to ride that Rolls Royce. They want to buy that Louis Vuitton. Yeah, you want all that come with it. But at the end of the day, well, not all of them love basketball. Trey Murphy said himself, not all of them love basketball. But, they love the game. And Zion does. You want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll just say that. If you want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I feel like this is the most important offseason. The clock is ticking. You're in this paradox where it's like, it's so many different outcomes of what it can be. And the time is ticking. So right now, currently, Zion has played 25 games this year. And, for reference, John Morant, who went right underneath him, played 38. He's at 38 because John Morant has not been playing at his best either. He's not been a model of health and consistency. So just give me a little bit of clarity. Like, John Morant has missed a lot of games this year too, and he's at 38. Zion's at 25. So you're like I said, you're just stuck in a position where you need him to play, but then you're also trying to lose, and he gives you your best chance to win. But it also helps when you play good teams like the Pelicans have coming up that are just better than you, and this talent on this team is lacking. So that's why I feel like it's important on both sides. This offseason is important for both sides. From the franchise aspect, you need to nail the coach. You need to get blessed into a good draft pick. Blessed. Because this lottery I know it's going to be freaky. I just know it's going to be freaky. I know the lottery is going to be freaky. So you need to get blessed by getting a good pick. And Zion has to meet his end of the bargain too. And finally, commit to yourself. We see what it looks like right now. But you flip a coin with him. You really do. You really do. Because I was so believed that he was, he's going to start the season off correctly and, be in prestige condition. And then you see what he looked like when he came back from the hamstring. It's like, damn, so you really wasn't. Like, you really wasn't tapped all the way in. Because you look at him in October to look how he looks now. It's two different players. And there's just so many. You can go look at so many different pictures of him over the years, and it's just different variants of his body. So, can Zion finally, and can David Griffin build a competent team around him? You have your answer. There is no more Brandon Ingram. It's his team, it's Zion's team. Build around Zion. The spacing is terrible. Give him some shooters. Jordan Hawkins is not the answer. Hurts me to say that. I done made too many Jordan Hawkins videos to try and hype him up. It's just not. It just is what it is. It's not what it is. Okay, it's not what it is. So thank you guys for sticking in for another edition of Pelicans Scoop. Y'all let me know, where do you guys think this offseason ranks for Zion and the Pelicans? I feel like it's the most important that it's been in this little era necessarily. It's like a situation where you're cutting a bomb. You got the red wire, you got the blue wire, or the green wire, whatever you want to say. You got the red wire, you got the green wire. Which wire are they going to cut that's either going to blow this franchise up, blow all this up, or that's going to stop the bomb and we're going to move forward. We're alive. We live to see another day. So I think it's just crucial for both sides. All right. This is all not the Pelicans' fault. This is all not Zion's fault. It's a middle ground for sure. It's a middle ground. Now, I will feel differently if Zion has met his end of the bargain and the team has let him down. But sometimes the Pelicans have met their end of the bargain. Zion has not. Sometimes Zion has and the Pelicans have not. So it's like it's not moving. I'm not a scientific major. I don't know. It's like law of motion or inertia, whatever. I don't know. I didn't go to school to learn that. But it's like two immovable forces that are just headbutting each other. So y'all let me know in the comments, where do you guys think about the Zion paradox, or where do you guys think that Zion will be in the next 3-4 years? Would he still be in New Orleans? Would his team be a contender finally, or anything? Or will we be back at square one with trying to build up, get another number one pick or something like that? Maybe we get Dylan Harper and we're just moving on with that. So Trey Murphy, or does Trey Axe out? Might do a video about him. So y'all let me know. Enjoy your weekend. I'm signing out. Peace.